Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Ask, Learn, Grow, the show where the Reef team answer questions and share updates and insights from the digital marketing industry. I've got Performance Manager Charlotte with me today and we're going to be talking about responsive display ads. So I guess a good place to start might be, why should you use responsive display ads? What's kind of the benefits and what are they? And yeah, do you want to explain a bit more about that?
So we're going to talk about the responsive display ads, which is a new format created by Google for your display campaigns. The difference between the classic banners and the responsive display is that you're not going to upload your design asset using the top performing spec. You're going to create and upload very different variations of asset and select responsive display instead of classic banners. The purpose of doing this is that first is going to allow you to save a lot of time, because we know that designing some banners takes some time, as for example me for working with non-for-profits involved to be on emergency appeals, and we don't necessarily have the time to design those banners. So basically the change is that you're going to choose up to 5 different images, 5 headlines, 5 description, upload it to Google, and then Google is going to use the machine learning to define which one is performing the best based on prediction and your past history. This is the reason why it's magic, basically.
Okay, great. So what are some best practices that people might be good for people to follow should they want to start using or testing responsive display ads?
The purpose is definitely to propose the right message at the right moment. So one of the best practices is to define exactly what is this display asset made for, which audiences, exactly as for your classic banners. Define who you're talking to. If it's a campaign for prospecting, in that case, you're gonna select 5 headlines and description that are gonna be relevant to this audience, as well as creating a remarketing campaign using exactly the same process, but with a message made for people who are remarketed by this campaign. The goal is also to maximize the performances. So you have up to 5 headlines. So you can, of course, put less, but it's highly recommended to use 5 headlines, 5 descriptions to allow Google to use the best machine learning as possible and predict what is going to be the best.
Okay, cool. And how would you go about creating these, like in the interface? Is it a radically different process, or what's kind of where would somebody find them to create them?
You're gonna do exactly the same process as for creating your display campaign on the platform. You're gonna create your campaign, define the goal, the budget, and once you're gonna define your audience, you're gonna have the opportunity to create your display banners. Instead of uploading your display assets, you're gonna have the proposition to create responsive display. Clicking on that, you're gonna have all the way to set up the asset and upload your images and videos directly in the platform.
Okay, great. So we've covered what the benefits of responsive display ads are and what they are themselves, some best practices to keep in mind when creating them, where to find them and how to create them within the interface. So how about we just kind of wrap this call up with a comparison of how responsive display ads sort of differ to the traditional display ads, and what sort of extra features or capabilities might be unlocked other than the multiple images and headlines and things.
So the difference is going to be that with the classic format, you cannot really have that opportunity to get various messages, description, and images. And second, Google is going to assemble automatically and adjust the size and the appearance of the ad to fit just about any available ad space, which is not what you can do basically with a classic banner. For example, you're going to have a native format that it's not what you can get with the classic, and you're going to have the opportunity to have some more mobile responsive banners appearing on app or any other mobile format.
Okay, and have you run any tests with responsive display ads versus traditional banners, and can you talk about your experience with that?
Yeah, the experiences that we've been able, normally we're using display to drive some awareness. We're expecting, in terms of KPIs, we're more looking at the impressions and clicks. We've seen a difference for one of my clients using classic, using the same audiences targeting, the same goal, and just using those two different formats. The CTR is definitely higher with the responsive display ads format. And out of that, we've been able to drive more conversion, which is normally not what we really get with the responsive display ads format compared to the classic ads format.
So it's outperformed quite strongly in your in the tests that you've run with it. So you definitely recommend that people factor it into their own campaigns. Especially
with the mobile formats. The CTR, the interaction is really higher compared to the classic banners.
Great stuff. Okay, that kind of wraps up today's video about responsive display ads. If you've got any questions about this ad type or about any kind of digital marketing topic in general, please feel free to reach out and we're always happy to help. If you'd like to see the team answer a burning question or cover a topic in a future video, send in your recommendations and we'll see what we can do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified of when the next video is available. Apart from that, thanks all for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.